welcome back to some professional StarCraft, to a best-of-5 finals here. As both these players have overtaken the rest of North America to make an all-Korean ESL NA Cup finals. Of course they have. Let me first introduce the best of the rest when it comes to Zerg. We have Solar. That's Jimmy. Spoilers. Now they're gonna know. You know they can't read. Solar. I wouldn't say he has any particular strengths, but definitely no particular weaknesses. He's definitely a contender for the BlizzCon champion. In the bottom left, we're choosing purple and yellow today, which is quite a spicy set of colors. I like it. I like mixing it up every now and again. I do fear change, of course, as a longtime StarCraft player, but it's ByuN. ByuN back again. Terran versus Zerg. ByuN going for the triple crown this week. He was also in the finals of the Korean server ESL Cup. Grinding it out. He's kind of supplanting Cure, which, you know, is some not so fun nostalgia for Cure, probably. Because back in the day, Cure used to kind of be the almost the Solar, if not a little bit lower level of Terrans. He was always there, but he never won anything. Round of 8 was an accomplishment. Round of 16, because players like ByuN would just kind of blow past him. I'm not sure if Cure's been competing. I haven't seen him in these ESL Cups. Well, after Zest left, Zest, his nemesis, his rival, all the way up through the GSL finals, where he won over Zest. When Zest retired, and still breaking my heart, Cure seems to have lost a lot of motivation to play in these online cups. I don't know. Or maybe ByuN is just grinding them out. Anyways, I will bow to our once and future king. We'll have to see which ByuN we get. Because remember, the ESL North America Cup starts at 8 a.m. Korean time. So... definitely not gamer hours. I don't know if you stay up late or you get up early, but these players will get up any time of day to make sure North Americans are not competing. I don't think Neeb or even Scarlett much of the time compete in the Open Cup. So players like Serral. Well, Serral has almost never. Occasionally he'll grace us with his presence. But, well, here we are. I was going to follow that up with something. Like and subscribe. No, not that. Not that. It's another one of those builds. And by that I mean not Reactored Hellion. He's going Medevac, a single factory, like no add-on Hellions. Getting... Are we going to see an armory? Or is this just like a straight-up marine drop? ByuN, he tries this. And sometimes to great effect, but usually confusingly with the early 1-1-1 into something that isn't Hellions. Like, Hellions are kind of a tried and true and standard. I'd probably say over 50% of all Terran versus Zerg since 2010 have featured Reactored Hellions as part of the early game build. But ByuN is not... He defines the meta. He defines what Diamond players will try and fail to emulate. And he almost always has... And okay, now we're going Reactored Hellion with a Raven. What a meandering path to this follow-up here. No third CC either. Honestly, I want to, like, attribute some genius to ByuN here, but it just feels like it's worse. It just, like... What has this accomplished that Hellions could not have done more efficiently and more quickly? It hasn't killed any... Maybe one Overlord? No, it's killed one Zergling. He had to use an auto turret to kill an Overlord. The creep spread has not really been slowed down. Solar is going up to 50-something... It didn't really... he saw the medevac at some point there. Maybe can kill individual queens with it? I don't know. But the big downside, more than any sort of units killed, is the creep spread. The creep spread, now he's got a Raven, but the creep is already pushed out, and 4 Hellions are not enough to contest the Queen's Brenda's knitting crew. Will defend its territory, if not particularly aggressively, as off a creep they get a lot of joint pain. It's, you know, it comes with age, all right? The Queen's been around for a long time. Barely moving nowadays. Can't even transfuse off a creep anymore, let alone fly. So, this is all followed up with, okay, this is, like, what's going on in this base? He's definitely, he hasn't walled in his tank, but he's made a great effort out of it. It is a 2-base tank push of sorts. Wait, is it walled? There's no, it's just kind of chilling. He didn't rally it. It's early, okay? It's like 8 a.m. I bet he woke up, alarm, snoozed twice, because he probably got a bye in the first round. Woke up, he's like, all right, okay, what matchup is it? TVT? No, oh, wait. And that's what I'm going to go ahead and blame this on. And by blame, I mean compliment, because this is that's a lot of Marines. Of course, not getting that 3rd command center means the additional barracks came up way quicker than your average player's used to. And that, without, well, there's no Baneling nest. Wait, you need Bane. He doesn't have Baneling speed on the way. His lair was quite late, Solar. Oh, but you can't leave the door open. Oh, ByuN scrambles back. What was looking to be an incredibly strong push, undercut severely by the Zerg. He just let the Zerglings in. Oh, it's early. Okay, like you didn't realize you left the door unlocked. Oh, you gotta go back. Oh, you get like a notification on your doorbell camera like, oh my god, that's not an Amazon Prime driver. That's 48 Zerglings. And now your day is just off to a rough start. Especially when those Zerglings are getting 1-1. Baneling speed is well on its way. Solar has had a lot of time to build up here. And if he can get Baneling speed alongside these upgrades, well, it's going to get a lot more difficult here. The Zerglings trying to get in again, ByuN not having it. The Zerglings can combine with everything at the front. Baneling speed 15 seconds out, and this push should have already been on the 4th. It's a great timing and a disgusting position for the tanks. It still has a lot of potential here. The Zerglings either need to come back and defend or try to break through, but Solar now doing a little bit of what ByuN was doing earlier, which is kind of waffling back and forth. Baneling speed done in 1 second, and that should be the trigger on this before ByuN can get any more upgrades or reinforcements across the map. Yeah, those queens eating the brunt of the tank damage, but retargeting. ByuN holding the line for now. Banelings, oh, he missed a shot, but not enough of them. And somehow, despite the Marines being a strong gust of wind away from death, he missed one of the Banelings, but he didn't miss 2. And that means enough Marines are left over to still be a massive threat here. The next timer is going to be on 2-2. With 2-2, Solar can certainly trade efficiently with the Marines. I would say Marauder, but there are no Marauders. It's just Marines. Like, 57 Marines. He's already lost 25. Just a handful of tanks and Marines. ByuN, back to the classics. 2-2 is on the way. Solar did not get the decisive victory in that battle that he was looking for. And this push is still dangerous. Solar needs every single Zergling he can put on the field. He's underwater on army supply. Double drop in the main. And wow, he just abandons the base in a hard and controversial call, I'd say. But ByuN immediately realizes and moves in to snap it up and continues forward. Solar very willing, very flexible, and he's realized that there's no third. He just now finished his 3rd command center. He's been 2-base all inning for several minutes now. So as long as Solar does not lose a critical mass of Zerglings and Banelings, well, The Raven still alive. ByuN diligent on that control. 2-2 is done for the Zerg. +1 armor not there yet. Lingbane forces ByuN the micro back. A couple tanks snapped up. Hydra's being added to the composition. Zerglings, they can't jump despite their fancy wings. Solar needs to make sure enough units are still at his third. ByuN is up to 156 supplies. That's 69 Marines, so pretty nice for this push. But Hydras are being added in, just something to get more range damage, especially when you have a better economy like this. ByuN is, whether he likes it or not, kind of stuck in a more long-winded macro game. The Zergling will spot the third command center. And now what's Solar gonna do about it? Do you need to hit the third? I don't really think so. I think what you concentrate on here is potentially small counterattacks and smashing the main army if it ever comes out. He's already got an infestation pit on the way. A hive is on the horizon, and with it, especially against this mass marine composition, is lurkers. While there's the threat of ghosts always lurking. No puns intended, but on this economy, ByuN, he's on 46 SCVs. It's pretty clear here in the income tab the advantage Solar has had. Hive begins. Will Lurker Den join it? 68 drones, so not overdoing it. A Liberator! No spores. ByuN doing a whole lot with a little. And this is the kind of stuff, well, ByuN's so great at and is incredibly annoying to deal with. There's just no reliable way to actually shut this down. You just kind of have to roll with the punches. He sieges up the Liberator to try to keep it from getting into an opposition. Medevac gets out, though. No more Marines. No Lurker Den started from Solar, so it looks like just Vipers and upgrades. There are a lot of tanks on the field, though I feel like Lurkers would definitely be a healthy addition. The triple drop ByuN, always ready to potentially drop the main. And since there's no Spire, well, what are you going to do about it? An Overlord will spot it, but it'll be quite a while. A disgusting Liberator position. The transfuses keep the Queens intact. Another drop headed out. The Hive is done, but the triple drop into the main. Solar, with nothing there to defend, the tech tree could be cut off at the stump. Meanwhile, ByuN in the center, clearing the creep off the field. Somebody's going straight for the Hive. He's trying to target it. Actually, a little optimistic there. ByuN loses a lot of those Marines, and he doesn't get the Hive. The Hive itself, that's what gives access to the Vipers, and that's why a lot of players will build. Whoa, what? Oh, he canceled the Hydra Den. I don't know what the other thing was. But he canceled the Hydra Den. Maybe a spawning pool? I'm not sure. He was afraid he was going to lose it, but ByuN went straight for the Hive. He went for the throne. Didn't quite get it. There's one Viper on the field right now. Technically, Interference Matrix works against Vipers, though rarely is that an interaction we see. As usually there's ghosts or something or other. The Hive is still intact, though dangerously low. Solar's he has a few Zerglings in the main, enough to defend against this if he moves quickly. ByuN is nearly max, both players with large armies. There's enough reinforcements here. Fourth command center. Oh, the drop comes out, but it doesn't. Yeah, the reinforcements are going to shut this down. ByuN just has so much army. In fact, Solar doesn't have that many drones. He has 2,400 minerals in the bank, though, so it's not a huge deal right now. That is a lot of Lings and Banes. He's got 117 Zerglings, nearly 50 Banes. Adrenal Glands is done. He's up against 72 Marines and 11 siege tanks, most of which are brought to bear. Where are the Vipers? There they are. The Raven, I don't think they haven't been spotted. Here come the blinding clouds. 1, 2, knocks out 3 key tanks. The other one's another blinding cloud. Banelings rolling through. Zerglings overrunning. The medevacs boost away in a faint hope of retreating in time. Liberators are sieging up and making it difficult for Solar to close this out. But a decisive victory with the Vipers can lead into a potentially devastating counterattack. The Liberators are making things difficult, drawing attention away. Yeah, there's no Spore over here. He moves Zerglings back just as a reflexive option. The Queens? How many times with these Liberators? Didn't you see the sign? Susan, it's a Terran. They can't read. They can barely write their name. 3-3 on the way for both sides. So a slight advantage, but ByuN still has a lot of army. Whoa, where'd the main go? Oh no, whoa! It appears Solar. He's just now starting a lair. Solar missed it too. The hive's gone. It's been a while too, and the creep's already gone. He's maybe consume, any other building. He can't even drop creep because the lair just started. No more Vipers. A Ghost Academy's on the way. Solar. He keeps taking 2 steps forward, but it feels like almost exactly 2 steps back. Oh, I guess you can start the Ultra upgrades without a hive. You can't do the hive. Oh my god, he's going up a ramp. 2 Ultras lead the charge in the cinematic push. The Ultra's taking a lot of damage, but there's so many Marines. No blinding cloud. The Liberator's helping. He's trying to hold the ground, but it's just too many Banelings. The tank is actually making things more difficult. Rolling by, he's all the way back into the main. But the Marines, he's splitting in his own main. The Ultralists survived. Some Hydras got distracted. And no, the main base is gone again. Every time. No victory without a cost. The Ghosts are out, and once again, what looked to be a decisive battle and a decisive victory for Solar is undercut by ByuN's just omnipotent drops. Now, this is why we don't build our entire tech tree in the main. We learned this in Wings of Liberty, Solar. This is especially against ByuN. You don't build your entire tech tree in the main. This is what happens. Okay, there goes the infestation pit. He already restarted the hive at least, but there goes another Hydra den. Or was that the first one? Either way, get over here. So, despite everything, Solar is still ahead. But ByuN is now adding ghosts. He's got 4 ghosts. The thing is, with 45 SCVs, he doesn't really have the economy to get everything he needs. So what a game 1 in this ESL finals. The meta... Could you stop, sir? Sir, just crash into that water. I don't think Marines can swim in that power armor. Another Marine drop. Okay. He abducted the medevac. It tried to boost away. The Moopies will be feasting tonight. Their favorite meal, blood of humans. Alright, the Ghost retreating. The Zergling count is once again quite daunting. Another Marine drop, but the Spore Crawler shuts it down and the Ultra should knock him out. And Solar is now bringing everything to bear. The snipes, he's just hitting whatever he can. He goes for the Hydras. Why bother with the Ultras? Don't need to be big game hunting. Just gotta stay in the game. 4 ghosts and 2 tanks. Cloak on the way. Solar just lost 10 more where are you losing drones now? I don't know if that was the Marine drop. There's another Marine drop headed out. Solar's at 73. Like, he's holding. Solar now he's maxed out. He's reestablished. He's regrown his tech tree for the most part. He has to get that Ultralisk Cavern. A scan spots the rocks, though, down. And that allows ByuN to reposition. He won't die. So. Another drop. He flies kind of over the Spore and into the corner, drops while moving. and is going to drag some units back, but some units are going into the ghosts, and Solar a little sloppy there, and it like Solar's like, come on, man, let's just go game 2. Let it like he's been a few banelings away from winning this game for like 12 minutes, but ByuN will not surrender. Well, here comes some very important Vipers. Snipes across the bow, knock out half the Ultras. Blinding Clouds hit all the tanks, though. They can't see anything, and they're completely useless except to tank themselves. The Baneling count is too damn high. There's a drone in the mix. And ByuN, he has Cloak. Oh, come on. Like, did he not bring an Overseer? I don't think it matters. There's another drop. It's getting, like, okay. All right, he's dead, right? He's like 87. Yeah, okay. He's done. He's out. And once again, it wasn't... He didn't quite kill him. But this time, this is the one. That was the one. That was game 1. Oh, that's like... Even though he won, I think Solar is not happy. Like, that is the most annoying Terran. Because you know, like, you have to set up each fight so well. It's on you as the Zerg to not let the Terran do that highlight reel micro. Okay? Like, you need to cross your T's, dot your I's, and roll in your banelings independently. So, as a Zerg, infuriating. As a Terran, amusing game 1. Solar takes it. And it's not like Solar made mistakes. It's just... And so I wonder how strong... Oh, it's a proxy 2X. Of course it is. Of course it is. But if that initial run-by hadn't gotten through... Okay, so ByuN's like, you know where nobody ever sends their Overlord? Directly out the center. They always scout for proxies. So they'll never expect... Well... And if in case it wasn't clear, ByuN explaining exactly my commentary better than I ever could. In a barracks down by the river. The thing, he sends out the drones, but oh my god. Oh, not again. Not one of these. The SCV came in and repaired the other SCVs. I think he was going to go for a 3 Rex. Oh, but he finishes 1 Rex. Okay. Oh, my God. Just die already. He's going to get a Marine out, and he might be able to finish the second one. I still think this was about as good as it gets. He's got 4 drones. That can kill a Marine. You can't jam a Marine back there, right? Like, by the trees. Marine comes out. Like, you got to kill it. You don't want to let this build up. Oh my god, his micro's so good! Ah! Oh, and then he messed it up. But it was unlikely he was going to get a second one anyway. He actually got a drone. And all those drones were not mining. Meanwhile, ByuN, he lost 2 SCVs. He's like, well, you know what you probably don't have? Is Zerglings with speed. This is the most annoying part about facing Terran. Is when their blatant cheese becomes a solid macro opener. Because, like, Solar shut this down about as hard as you ever could, realistically. And guess what? He can't, he's losing drones to a Reaper anyway. The Reaper, yeah, there's no ling speed. If Solar had stayed in gas and gone straight for ling speed, there's a chance that, like, 12 Zerglings win the game. But of course Solar's not going to gamble on that. Of course Solar's going to play it, like, middle of the road. He's going to play it safe. And ByuN is going to build a 3rd command center before his factory finishes, with his only other production building floating across the map. Because that's just how ByuN do. I will say, I try to be an unbiased caster, but ByuN plays a uniquely infuriating brand of Terran as a Zerg player. Like, because there's no real obvious point of weakness unless you have map hacks. Like, you would have thought the point of weakness was the barracks. No, because in shutting down the barracks, you've given him map control. If you don't shut down the barracks itself become a threat. And if you just try to play macro, once again, you've given him map control, because even with like a Reaper and 2 Hellions, ByuN can keep you on the creep for quite a while. Of course, the downside of what ByuN is doing, and the risk, for those of you who refuse to acknowledge it, is if he makes any mistakes, he can just lose the game at almost any time. Like, if he doesn't have that perfect micro on his Reaper Hellion. If, well, maybe one Reaper isn't the end of the world, but if he doesn't send those drops in perfectly timed during the attack, if he doesn't siege up the Liberators, if he doesn't target fire the tanks, it all crumbles. It's a house of cards here. But he always seems to have an ace in the hole. Baneling that, I do not blame. He's like, Hellbats, maybe, either way, like, just get the Bane Nest. Just get the Bane Nest. Just get the Bane Nest. Alright. He sees Stim upgrading. He sees the natural taken so early. He sees Reactored Factory. Just get the Bane Nest. Got some spores on the way, so predicting something out of the starport, but it's actually, I think that's for the barracks there. The add-on handoff. Well, actually, no, I think you moved the starport, right? We'll see. One on the way. How does he get away with this? How is he? I guess he's not. Okay. Like, he's getting 1-1 quicker than Solar's getting his Evo Chambers. Now, Solar is pumping the drums. He's got his lair finishing. So, Baneling speed is first priority. I imagine even before 1-1, but we'll see. Yeah. No more of that. No more. Had enough of these Marines. It's too much. The only way, you need like 3 Banelings for each Marine, but there are no better choices. Like, Roaches? No, forget about it. Hydras? Not without Banelings. Mutas? Come on. Like, just so many Banelings, he literally can't stop them. Because we saw ByuN literally microed all the way back to his main against like 50 Banelings. And only then did they finally close the distance. You need so many, he cannot. You need to turn on the 25,000 APM AI thing to auto-split. They just train it by looking at ByuN replays, okay. Well, gets that overseer. Well, 1-1 finishing. Honestly, if I'm ByuN, I'm not feeling too bad about this. He's got all his barracks producing. He's got his third relatively secure, though kind of awkwardly positioned. Upgrades are good. Armory on the way. Second factory. Probably a 4th command center soon as well. And by soon, I mean literally right now. The Zerglings are going to move in, but the Hellions are back at home to defend. So, clearing the creep. Wait, Solar. Oh no! Did he select all army, or was that intentional? It felt like he was going to go for the Zergling counterattack, but then just gave up on it. Okay, well, we're going at like 85 grand. And a hive. So, the more Banelings strat it is. ByuN's going to max out before the hive is done. At this rate, though. And there's no Hydras. There's no Mutas. They're going to go Swarm Host? Come on. This is going to be... This is like classic Terran. Now, the creep is at his doorstep, but they're right across the street from each other here on Waterfall, so You look at the sensor tower, it covers like 40% of the map. Hive is on the way. 2-2 started for both sides. The double drop headed for the main. The Viking cleared out the vision. Oh, but a queen and enough. Zerg gets one medevac. That's a huge blow there. Oh, Widow Mine. Okay connection. The medevac actually... Oh, that spore hidden by an overlord. I don't know if that's intentional, but this is not going well. ByuN loses both medevacs. And that means all he has is whatever's back at home. The units are rallying across, springboarding off the creep. And Zerglings just shutting down... Yeah, the Banelings overrunning the rest. 20 supply of Marine medevac on the other side. Yes, ByuN can micro whatever he has left. But there were enough Banelings. The quantity being a quality in and of itself here. And 13 SCVs go down alongside it. Another wave is built up, and this means Hive will complete. Vipers, potentially. Adrenal Glands, certainly. Ultralisk Cavern, hopefully. Well, we're in a very similar situation to last game as it stands. Doesn't have Drilling Claws on the way. Might be recognizing that now. There we go. Adrenal Glands. Ultralisk Cavern. Lings and Banes on the right flank. Just Zerglings overrunning the left. Shut down on the right. Or the left. I don't... You just look at the screen. The Banelings are looking for targets. Enough go by. Explodes onto the factory. Doesn't quite get the tech lab. Trying to come in on the left. ByuN's army supply actually takes the lead here for a moment because Solar at 88 drones. Enough supply depots have died that ByuN can't continue building units, and the tech lab that could have potentially researched Drilling Claws has burned down. Well, chitinous plating is on the way. ByuN not hitting all his marks on this game. He's hitting a lot of them, but Solar is still in pole position. But the lack of Drilling Claws, very apparent here. The Widow Mine's just not reliable without him. One more mine. Gets shut down. ByuN's micro, second to absolutely none here. And the Banelings just never close the distance. They're looking for another target. They get shut down. It's kind of a weird situation where Banelings are cowering in fear. But here we are as ByuN. He has Marines, he has Marauders, he has Mules, he has Mines, he has Medevacs, he has more M&M than 8 Mile right now, and with chitinous plating on the way, Solar is starting to get a little bit concerned. But hopefully, the Ultralisk can turn it around for him, because he can't keep getting away with this. Oh my god, the mine connects on a big chunk of Banes, but where are the Banes? Where are the Banelings? You need approximately 48 more Banelings than that. Here's some. He has to lift the orbital again, create space for activities. Still no Drilling Claws. The Widow Mine does manage to burrow, doesn't get a shot off. There's just not that many units for ByuN, I want to say. Like, I keep wanting to say that, but it keeps... Ultralisk? The Banelings find more SCVs. Somehow ByuN still has 60? How, like, die! Why won't he die? Why won't you die? He's got 3-3 almost done. His economy isn't even that bad, though these two Banelings are looking to keep taking chunks out of it. 5 more SCVs. And so the Ultras should be put a damper on this particular parade. Chitinous plating is done. Yeah, there's not that many Marauders. 3 Ultras. And, yeah, there we go. Okay, so ByuN is playing the most exciting ByuN here, which is getting into a rough position, microing his absolute heart and wrists out, and then losing anyways. The most successful ByuN is significantly less dramatic, which is like just doing a solid 3 base into Ghosts and easily running over a Zerg army that isn't remotely as efficient. But that's no fun. So, with that all said, match point for Solar, as He continues to survive the onslaught. I want to talk about the mind games. Not the mines. The mind games on the barracks. So most players will send their overlords, like, even the first overlord, out kind of off to the sides to look for proxies. Because most players will proxy not directly dead center down the center of the map. They'll proxy, like, over here. Probably not over here on this map, but, you know. But Solar, straight down the center. ByuN is, like... This is a professional match of StarCraft. You're supposed to think harder than that. And you should have been bamboozled by my next level strategy of proxying directly down the obvious Overlord path. You're so bad that I'm losing. This doesn't sound like any Terran players you know, right? Spawning pool. Solar, just holding it down. That really feels like all he's been doing. He attacks when it's obligatory, but rolling with the punches, and ByuN throws a lot of them. This isn't exhausting. Like, I'm exhausted for Solar. He's winning these games, but you're constantly, like, one particularly bad fight from throwing. Okay, we're doing another one of those reactor barracks plays here, which I'm not convinced, okay? In my infinitely less accomplished and skilled experience, there's very few scenarios where, like, reactored Marine is going to get much more done than the reactored Hellion, and it leaves you open to a lot of different things. It gets countered by mostly the same stuff. What it's good against is small amounts of queens. You can actually fight them. But overall, it is a very thin margin, in my opinion. We'll see. There's also a Widowmine flavor of this, which is a little more, has a lot more potential, but is also easy to counter. If you go for the Widowmines with the first medevac and then the Marines to draw everything out of position, you could potentially end up getting a lot of drone damage. But he builds 4 Marines and then starts the Hellions. So, he's looking for Ovies. And he may actually find one. What? Because, like, what is this, ByuN? Get out of here. Put a question mark, Solar. What is he doing? Go home. There's 2 Marines. Didn't even proxy. He's building 2 mines now. Okay, so it is. Go home! Is he gonna get an... Oh my god. What is this? This is a mess. That hurts a lot. Losing an Ovi this early really throws everything off. On top of the lack of vision. This is like... Okay, well, I guess he just kills it. It's Drilling Claws Mines, by the way. Which is the most disgusting version. And he just killed an Overlord, which means reduced vision. And it's less likely that Solar will have Overlords too far out on the map. He shows the Hellions here. Yeah, this is some filthy... This is a filthy Terran cheese. And it is a cheese. A cheese is something... A difference between a cheese and an all-in. Like, game 1 was all-in. An all-in is still effective, even if your opponent knows it's coming. A cheese is something that loses a significant amount of effectiveness. Solar? Did he not see it? He may have missed it. Yeah, he's kind of like in a neutral position with his queens. No, that's not very neutral, actually. He's sitting at the edge of the creek. Widowmine's going to wander in. There are spores, but that's not going to matter much to the drones here. Oh my god, he's using the larva. That was an awkward one. He targeted the... Oh, he targeted the egg! And then the egg popped out a drone and it chased the drone. Okay. So once again, ByuN comes out with a new, novel, creative opener. And it... Okay, well, that didn't really do anything. It just didn't work. And now, like, he has queens. What did you think? He's gonna be like, well, I didn't see too many Hellions, so I just won't build queens this game. That's not how StarCraft works! The Zerglings trying to get through, and there's literally nothing to stop them. There's nothing to... There are no units. He doesn't have any units! ByuN! Okay, Baneling Nest is done. That could come in very handy. That medevac is badly bruised. The queens have plenty of energy on their own. He's like, but this Overlord, though. Uh-huh. Oh, the queens. Too late. No transfuse for you. Yeah, I don't know. ByuN, he doesn't care. He's playing in so many of these tournaments today. He's like, maybe this time my crazy Destiny Cloud Fist variation 48 is gonna work. Nope. No, Solar's at 63 drones. He's got a comfortable 3 bases. He's got queens with a lot of energy. He didn't even have to use much energy dealing with this, which does matter when it comes to these early mid-game pushes where the queens are actually battling. Yeah, it's not great for ByuN, but he is following this up. So here's the difference between your cheese and your all-in. The cheese was the Widow Mines. It still didn't do much, but if he had known it was coming, it probably would have done even worse. The all-in is a tank push with Marines, even if you know it's coming. And at this point, Solar does. It's still very strong. Like, it comes down to the control, and it comes down to timing and execution. Solar has all the information he needs to know this is happening, and he knows where it's going as well. Like, there's no surprises. The only question is, can he deal with it? And once again, just like game 1, he cancels the fort. He's not bothering. He's not bothering defending a base. He doesn't have the army to efficiently defend. Baneling speed is 15 seconds out, which is ByuN forgot combat shield. ByuN! Oh my god, he picks up and he goes to the main, because of course he does. ByuN, you see, even pros do it. Combat shield, the upgrade that the 5% of the time you forget it is probably the most important 5%. But he kills the spawning pool. Solar built all of his tech in the main, which is, you know, not ideal. Oh my god, it's still happening though. Solar brought, like this, look, This is the oldest trick in the book, and this is why you usually expand to the other base first, the linear base, as opposed to the triangle base, for this exact reason. This elevator shenanigans over here, like back and forth. You snipe the spawning pool. At least the Hydra Den and the Evo chambers aren't there. But this is why you usually take this base, because if the medevacs are in the main, they can't just be part of the attack at the third. And it's not like the Zerglings are benefiting from how close the air distance is. The Zerglings have to run all the way around. Well, it's a pain. And ByuN, he got a lot done. He killed the spawning pool, which actually delayed Zergling production. Thankfully for Solar, he had more than that. ByuN just started. The only reason ByuN didn't do more damage is because he forgot combat shield. Like, combat shield should have been done for the push, or at least close to it. Without combat shield, you're at risk of dying to a single Baneling after stimming. If you're not healed, you will die to 1+1 Bane. That is the difference. That's a huge difference. The difference between 1 and 2 Banelings is like 100% more Banelings. Alright.
The numbers don't
and this is why you get combat shield.
They spell disaster for you.
He's kind of holding back. I predict as soon as combat shield is finishing, he's going to press in a lot harder. 12 seconds out. Big Zergling counterattack. The wall was torn down. Is that enough Zerglings? I think it is. The Marines. Combat shield done. Base under attack here. What? He just gave up? Okay, they just didn't bother here. The tanks are in such a disgusting position. They're literally walling each other off. And honestly, I think Solar's choice of bases, the fact he took that third, despite all the impotence of those early attacks, ByuN has an army supply lead, and he's even on upgrades. The tanks are incredibly difficult to deal with here. Solar does not have the numbers. He can't get remotely enough banelings. He's just doing like a desperate counterattack. And the tanks... Oh, the target fire on point, slurps up the Marines, gets out. Untouchable! It's like ByuN is challenging himself. Every game, he gets further behind, and he keeps trying to bring it back. Except this game... It depends on this tank push, obviously, but... Solar is being continually denied a fourth. Liberator sieges up the most supply-efficient way. Like, every single unit that does encounter Liberators is here, so that's not ideal. And in moving all the Zerglings out of position, ByuN moves the tanks up and then leaves them there unsieged. Right, he's using every little lip of the map here. Huge surround. A lot of army supply is still across the map for ByuN. +2 melee and Carapace are closing in, but they're not part of this fight. He's trying to take advantage of the lack of reinforcements. The tanks go down, but the medevacs are dropping on the base as well. ByuN, he loses the tanks, but he gains the 4th hatch. Yet again, the 3rd or 4th one of it. And the Zerglings, no, there are no, you need banelings. You require banelings. It is not optional. These units are not enough. To the north, he's tearing them apart right now. In the main, the Liberator as well. That one gets shut down, but the Queens are out of position. The Baneling Nest is targeted. The 4th hatchery is down. Lings and Bane's chasing. Slurps up. He got the Bane Nest. Well, that's not good. Solar is scrambling. He's getting pulled every part of the map around. Unfortunately for ByuN, though, he has like 4 mineral patches left. And once again, it is ByuN trying to scrape his way out before Solar's economy crushes him. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I'm disgusted. In like the best possible way. It's like eating, like, you know those elephant ears? Like at the Americans know what I'm talking about, which is just like fried butter with powdered sugar. Disgusting. But, you know, pretty good though. Oh yeah, the classic secondary armory. He forgot the first armory because of how this game has gone. It's like, I need an armory to get +2. That is the sign. Like, he forgot combat shield and then built a second armory. They're called elephant ears, and if you didn't know that, that means you're probably a healthy individual. So get out. Posture check. Baneling check. Has to pick up. Spore crawlers just doing whatever they can do. Which is not very much, as the Marines are gunning them down. Yeah, it's been all ByuN ever since the first time he shut down, like, since the first elevator play, ByuN has had all the momentum. Because Solar just cannot get enough Zerglings out there. He's got 1,700 gas. Might as well make some infestors at this point and start praying. He cannot spend his gas. He doesn't have a lurker den, and that's too goddamn many Marines. Unless there's no... He has just Marines. The tanks are unsieged. Like, that, it's just... Oh my god. It's just so many Marines. It's 2-2 against 1-1. So the Marines are struggling here, too. He lifted his tanks at the worst possible timing. But now he's going right back to that disgusting position. He lifts the tanks into the most disgusting possible spots. What do you... He's gonna try... Oh my god! Solar is running through the minerals with the banelings! The Zerglings are trying to... Oh, it's horrible. Oh, come on. He's filing into the concave. Solar is... That's a frustrated play. He is not happy with how this game is going. Get some of the Marines. That's a consolation prize. But just A-moving through the minerals... There was a drop on this side he was dealing with, but... He's 368 Zerglings. He's lost... Oh my god! 17,000 minerals to 9,000. Almost twice as efficient. With marines and tanks. No ghosts. Like a couple liberators. With marines and tanks. I don't... Yes. Ghosts may be the cause of this. 99% of the time. But this, like, marines are not supposed to be the unit. They're expendables. But not here. This is the most classical TVZ I've seen in a while. It's all about ByuN, even though Solar's up 2-0, and with Vipers, he may be able to turn this around. Get that tank over here. Oh, come... Okay, you gotta kill it. But guess what? Guess what, Solar? Yep. You, like, come on. Build a lurker den already. You got 1,700 minerals, or 1,700 gas in the bank. Half a dozen lurkers could have at least slowed this down, but... ByuN is landing his main orbital at the 4th. ByuN is even on upgrades right now. He picks up and gets out right as the fight turns on him. I'm really kind of confused at the lack of lurker den. I know ByuN, like, that'll just encourage ghosts. But it almost feels like a no hive tech challenge. I don't really count ultras as hive tech. They're more like a diet plan gone wrong. Meanwhile, Baneling's rolling through. The Liberators, though, are the real issue. And guess what, Solar? Well, this is also an issue. Like, that's a... the sheer amount of Liberators is a massive thing. Anyways, what I said the first time. Oh, he left some Banes. Will that be enough? The Liberators helping the zone out. The tanks are moving into position. One Viper down, looking for more. Baneling's closing the distance, picks up... There are no more Banelings over here. There's still plenty of Marines. What a scrapalicious game. Drones are down. He's down to 60 drones. Solar has had the income lead for the... effectively all of 10 minutes. But, oh my god, the Ultra's on the wrong side of the minerals! Oh, Terran! He just outmaneuvered. He styled. ByuN playing one of the most cost-effective Marine tank games I've ever seen. Disgusting. But once again, in that beautiful way. Oh, I felt that as Solar, though. Like, that is... Oh. That's a tough one. Well... I still kind of question, with 1,700 gas, the lack of lurkers. The thing is, Solar feels like he's ready to just crush a push and go win the game. But he keeps not crushing it. Like, those Marines all slip away, and then they show up magically on the other side of the map and kill another hatchery. Yes, they were different Marines because he kept so many alive. Just... what a mess. ByuN is gonna start convincing. ByuN is out here to prove he don't need ghosts. I bet his tune would have changed pretty dramatically the second he saw a lurker, or more than one ultra. But maybe Solar's proving he doesn't need lurkers. And technically, so far, he is winning. Like, let's not lose sight of the fact that Solar is up 2-1. I feel like that's a very key point. All right, it's a new build from ByuN. It's the classic. Make a Marine. Cancel the Marine to get your command center, and then make it the Marine again. Opener. Maybe in case of Zerglings or something? I don't... Which, you know, one of the all-time classics. He's going to get a reactor right afterwards anyways. So no Reaper at all. No proxy. Yeah, for once, we see what looks to be a reactored Hellion opener, which means it's probably like a Thor drop or something. I don't... Second gas is on the way. So, this actually is something. Battle cruiser. I'm trying to, like, maybe it is the armory build again, but that is something we haven't seen. And he did minimize his gas. It could be. He's looking for overlords? Oh. Signs are pointing towards it. And it is Moondance, which is incredibly easy to defend. Once you get... Oh. How dare you? How dare you get my hopes up for no reason and then crush them? I'm just going for a medevac. I want my money back. My smashing of the like button. I want it back. It's the Raven build from earlier, I think. Oh, okay. All right. Oh. Which cup is the barracks under? Oh, the Tekla. ByuN lost track of it for a second there. Ah, Banshees! Was that a Zergling he just killed? Which seems... Well, probably gonna get the Overlord here. Yes. And an Armory. And Cloaked Banshees. So ByuN, once again, bearing the lead here. Thankfully, with a whole half second to spare, walling off his natural. And I mean, the Hellions were there as well. "13 more drones on the way. Solar seems quite confident that no shenanigans are afoot, at least ones he's not prepared for. But he would be a little wrong, as he's got his Spore Crawler set up like there's going to be Liberators. But in fact, it's Cloaked Banshee, and it looks like it's going to be a Hellbat push. So, the Baneling Nest is not particularly quick this game. He waited till either right as the lair started or right after. The Marines, but the Hellbats are revealed. The medevac only takes a few points of damage. The Cloaked Banshees are a big part of this, which is why I wonder where they are. Where are you, Banshee? Oh, I think it was spotted. The Spore Crawler was coming out to deal with the medevac, and then the Banshee was spotted, so here we are. The Hellbats, the thing is, yeah, they are kind of countered by just a bunch of angry queens. Or even calm and collected queens, but they're usually pretty upset about people doing Hellbat pushes like it's 2014. Yeah, so without any Lings or Banes, really, already the Hellbat push has been kind of handicapped. The medevac is one angry queen a little further out away from dying. The Hellbats are bruised. Medevac can heal them for some weird biological reason, but it only has so much energy. Behind this is not like ByuN is rely on this to do critical damage. He's got a third. He's got his barracks on the way. He's got double NG bay. In fact, Solar with a glaring lack of evolution chambers that he's fixing now, but Moondance other choice. Which, yeah, it makes sense. On this map and after this opener, I think you have the space and the time for it. And the best defense with Moondance is good offense. So if you're able to get across the map, it just can spiral out of control with good Muta Micro. Of course, there is a much larger window where you're vulnerable because of the expense of just the initial expense of the Mutas. But he's mostly covered that by shutting down the early push. The Spire was scouted by the Banshee. The Banelings, there's no, I think there is stim actually, yep, there it is. So I'm not sure that's helping. Yeah, the Hellbat's just the Queens. Come back here! Calm down, Susan. Your time will come. Another Cloak Banshee. How many kills? 7 kills. This one just working around the edges. Here comes the Marine push. Baneling speed. It's on the way. One Banshee shot down. The other one barely visible. 5 Mutas on the way. And ByuN knows it's not going to get easy. You can't just turtle up, make a bunch of turrets and defend. Because then you give up the rest of the map. You have to get up in their face and get as much done as possible. Because you can't let the Mutas get behind you. That's when things start going even more wrong. Of course, you go too far out too fast, you get run over by Banelings, which is not great. 10 seconds on combat shield. ByuN not forgetting it this game. He really wants this hatchery. Larva very important with Mutiling Bane. I don't think Solar's just going to give this one up. I've been wrong before. He's been he's just kind of let his hatcheries die. He's going to use the Broodlings. The dying gasp of the hatchery. Solar make a decision. He's getting caught here. He does have another 4th building. Not done yet. The Mutas are headed across either way. He's, Solar constantly flirting with the idea of actually fighting the army. A turret, yeah, the Mutas do find an opportunity to get some damage. But ByuN is at 160. He's the same amount of supply. He's got 2-2 finishing soon. Oh, but that's not a great position here. The Banelings are a little late to the party. The tanks really need to target. It's not enough. And the Mutas are closing in, and that's all the difference here. He couldn't just stand his ground, and he couldn't micro back because the Mutas don't care. That. ByuN. Not prepared. Just a little out of position, and the Lings and Banes close in seconds before 2-2 finishes. And that is the great strength of the Mutas. And the weakness of non-Muta composition is being able to fight off creep. And in those, like, mineral gaps and other nasty positions ByuN has been using and abusing throughout the series. He still has... So, ByuN's economy is mostly untouched. He was still able to get all the racks. He's going up to an octo racks here. This is... what am I watching? He target fires down like 4 new creep tumors, so Solar lays down 12 more, because that's enough of that. Mutas are incredibly fragile creatures. Lose track of them for literally 1 second, and they may all die. Especially when Widowmines and Thors are involved. But Marines don't take much longer. The Muta count, what is he at? 13, going on 16. It's a nice number, enough to one-shot Widowmines, Medivacs, without over-committing to an incredibly fragile unit. So right now, yeah, staying right at that number, with the rest filled in by Ling Bane and a lot of drones. 92 Zerglings, 36 Banes. Now, +2 finishing. So we're not going to pick a fight till then. He's got a hive on the way. Usually the big hurdle for Mutiling Bling players is getting that hive. And it's not particularly quick, but it's not too far behind ByuN's 3-3. And that means Solar's going to be competitive on the upgrades. The turret just being targeted. The Muta should eventually out DPS the SCVs, and that opens up a lot of opportunity to get damage done. ByuN, big drop on the left flank. The Mutas kill 15 SCVs. We'll move on towards the main. The drop, understanding he has an opportunity to get damage as the Mutas are on the wrong side of the map. The turrets are taking a few more on the way out. More drops. As soon as ByuN realizes the Mutas cannot kill him, he loads up into those medevacs. The Mutas are now heading home, and ByuN's fun time is over. And Muta's chasing. In fact, catching out a little here. Most of the army will be able to regroup. The creep dealt with. 3-3 done. ByuN nearly maxed. This is the ideal time to fight. It's not going to get any better from here. He's got the upgrades, and he's about maxed out. The Thors can help to zone out the Mutas. It's a lot of lings in May. 94 Zerglings, 32 Banelings. The Mutas are nowhere to be seen with this. Even more Banelings added. The first wave easily ground down. More Banelings building. This base is never going to happen. Medevac drop. The Mutas are headed towards the entire other side. He's not even bothering with fighting the Thors, but the Thors are bothering very much Solar's Lings and Banes. Mutas headed back. Oh, he didn't rebuild a turret, so the SCVs are going to pay the price. But ByuN, behind the Marauders and the Thors. Just so much bio, though he definitely select all army there. Which means the Thors, well, they slurp back up behind the lines. Widowmine's gonna zone out. Oh, Widowmine's doesn't get a shot. The Marauders just tilt me over. Nope, not enough. The Mutas are keeping things busy. One Widowmine connects, though. And that's gonna start making things difficult. ByuN is retreating. Kind of surprised to see it, as it felt like he was making some good progress on the other side, but still 137 army supply. Oh my. Solar, by necessity, has more supply in drones. 3-3 is not yet done, but chitinous plating will be done. It's done now. The Mutas trying to fight with the Zerglings, but oh my god, ByuN target fires the Mutas and knocks them all out of the sky. And by all, I mean all but two. But half his army went the wrong way between a rock and a hard place. So, while most of the Mutas died, I think losing like 20 supply going the wrong direction, and this planetary having to be canceled, is a big issue here. 3-3 done in 3 seconds. Here to just flies in. Red Cloud. Ghost Academy begrudgingly constructed. Mutas optimistically rebuilt. We don't mind. Right in the middle of nothing. So we're at 90 drones. You don't want to actually build anymore at this stage. He's got all the melee upgrades. ByuN out on the map again. We're going to do it again. These two keep brawling it out. At Ultras. Oh, target fire from the planetary onto Banelings. Which did minimize the damage, but it was still far too much. Planetary micro. I guess from someone who also has orbital commands. Oh, the Ultra suffering the same fate as so many of those bio units. Amuta's looking for an opportunity, but a single Thor enough to zone him out. And the Widow Mine is still intact here, but it's gone now. Marauders, Thor, the Banelings just evaporate. They're just gone. Another wave of Banelings, though. And, well, the Marine count is starting to dwindle, but another wave of Banelings. It's just about how much Solar can put on the field, not about how much ByuN can deal with. Well, maybe those are two sides of the same coin, but once again, the Thors are quite a backstop. So many Banelings. Another wave. The Widow Mine turns its coat and fires into the Marines as well. ByuN has to pick up in just the sheer amount of production from the Zerg. Seems to be potentially too much. The Mutas are able to start whittling down the medevac count, and they keep ByuN from having too many Marauders. The Widow Mines are working for both sides. At some point, the Widow Mines become more of a danger than a boon. And that point was about 30 seconds ago. ByuN just doesn't have the army. Without the Ghosts, the Ultralists are too much. They just tank way too much damage. Makes it way too difficult to deal with the literal tower defense level waves of Banelings. And with it, a single Ultra boxing out. He kills the... Like, well, I'm setting up to be like, we should see GG any second here. And then ByuN's like, actually, I've defended. We're moving on. I still have a main and a natural to lift. The game is not over. I've got 88 army supply of 3/3 Marine Marauder. Don't you dare start to do an outro. Well, here we are. There are 23 Mutas now. No Widowmons. Oh, whoa, I lied! Now, if only that was 4 instead of 1. The Ultra's chopping through, though. The Bio Army, it wants to split, but then it makes it easy pickings. GG! And Solar grinds ByuN down in an epic and exhausting battle. 3-1. Never really... Honestly, Solar was never really behind, except the game ByuN ended up winning. Even then. ByuN's style is always so fun to watch. But, is it the best? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Check out my second channel for more sorts of games. Probably not like this one, though. Link in the description and all that. And this video. You see this video? Isn't that great? Or just Twitch chat, which is almost as exciting. Anyway, hope I made your day a little bit better. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.